One word, one single word that people say every single day, thinking it makes them sound cooperative, thinking it makes the officer go easier on them, that has sent more families to detention than almost anything else I have seen in 15 years of criminal defense practice. That word is yes. You were driving, maybe coming back from work, maybe picking up your kids from school, maybe just going to the grocery store. It does not matter where you are going. Those red and blue lights appear in your rearview mirror and your stomach drops. Officer walks up to your window, shines a flashlight in your face, and asks you one question that sounds completely routine. Can I search your vehicle? And most people, good people, people who have done nothing wrong, people who just want this to be over as fast as possible, say the one word that changes everything. Yes, that one word is consent. And the moment it leaves your mouth, every constitutional protection you had inside that car disappears completely, legally, instantly. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly why that word is so dangerous, what ICE agents are trained to do to get you to say it, and the exact words to use instead so that you never hand over your rights again without even realizing it. And before I go any further, I need to address something because I already know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are citizens or have legal status, and you are thinking, I have nothing to hide, so it does not matter if I say yes. It matters enormously. Because I have nothing to hide is not legal defense, and a search that starts with your permission can go wherever the officer decides to take it, and you gave them the map. If you are undocumented, if you have a pending case, if anyone in that car has any kind of immigration situation, this video could be the most important 10 minutes of your life. My name is Alejandro. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I represent real families in front of federal agencies, and the most painful thing I see over and over again is not people who broke the law. It is people who handed over their rights with a single word because nobody ever told them they could say something different. That ends right now.
Let's start with what is actually happening when ICE pulls you over. This is not a routine traffic stop. ICE agents conducting immigration enforcement during a vehicle stop have a very specific goal, and it is not to write you a ticket. They are looking for one of two things: either confirmation of your immigration status or consent to search that vehicle. Everything they say and everything they ask in those first 60 seconds is designed to get you to give them one of those two things voluntarily. Here is why voluntary matters so much legally. The Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution protects you against unreasonable searches and seizures. Inside your car, that protection is real. An ICE officer cannot search your vehicle without either a warrant signed by a judge or your consent. That is the law. And since getting a warrant takes time and requires actual evidence, they need your consent. That is why the entire stop is built around one goal: getting you to say yes. And here's the part that will make you angry once you understand it. Federal agents in the United States are legally permitted to use deception to get that consent. They can lie to you. They can imply they have authority they do not have. They can make the search sound mandatory when it is not. All of it is legal on their side, which means your only real protection is knowing exactly what they are doing while they are doing it. So let's go through the 5 things ICE agents say to get you to say yes and what to say back every single time. The first one: this will only take a second. Can I take a quick look in the back? It'll only take a second. The word quick is doing all the work there. It is designed to make the search sound small, harmless, almost not worth resisting. But a search is a search. There is no legal difference between a quick look and a full search once you say yes. Your response is simple, and it is said calling: I do not consent to any searches. That is it. Not an argument, not an explanation, 5 words. The second one: if you have nothing to hide. Come on, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. This is the most psychologically effective line they use because it reframes your constitutional right as suspicious behavior. Think about what that sentence is actually doing. It is telling you that exercising a right the Constitution specifically gave you is somehow proof that you are guilty of something. That's backwards, and it's a manipulation tactic. Having nothing to hide is not the point. The point is that the law gives you this right regardless of what is or is not in that car. Your response: I understand. I do not consent to any searches. Am I free to go, or am I being detained? That last part, am I free to go or am I being detained, is the most powerful question you can ask during any stop. It forces the officer to commit to one of 2 answers. If they say you're free to go, you leave. If they say you are being detained, they now need a legal justification for that detention. You just shifted the entire burden back onto them. The fifth one, step out of the vehicle. This one is real. Amelier could establish Supreme Court law that an officer can ask you to exit the vehicle during a lawful stop, and you should comply. Do not resist, do not argue, step out calmly with your hands visible. But stepping out of the car is not the same as consenting to a search. The moment you're outside, you say clearly, I do not consent to any searches. I would like to speak with an attorney. You have now complied with a lawful order and simultaneously protected every right you have. Both things are true at the same time. Now, what about your immigration documents? Here is the rule. You are not required to answer questions about your immigration status during a traffic stop. You are required to provide your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, if you are the driver. That's it. If an ICE agent asks directly, are you a citizen? What is your immigration status? Do you have papers? Your response is, I am invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I want to speak with an attorney. You do not confirm, you do not deny, you do not explain. The Fifth Amendment exists precisely for this moment. And here's the thing that applies to both citizens and non-citizens watching this, because this video is for all of you. Plain view doctrine means that anything an officer can see from outside or inside that vehicle once you open it can be used. A consent search can pull in everyone in that car regardless of status. The citizen driving with an undocumented family member who says, yes, go ahead, just put everyone at risk. This is not just your right, it is your responsibility to everyone in that car with you.
Let me bring this back to the one idea that is bigger than every tactic I just gave you. Every protection I described tonight is already in the law. The Fourth Amendment is real. The Fifth Amendment is real. Your right to refuse a search is real. Your right to remain silent about your immigration status is real. None of this is radical. None of this is new. This is the Constitution of the United States as it exists today. But none of it activates automatically. The law does not refuse the search for you. The Constitution does not speak for you at that window. You have to know the words. You have to say them calmly before any of it means anything. And here is what the officer at that window is counting on. Not that you are guilty, not that you have something to hide. They are counting on one thing only, that you assume saying no makes you look suspicious, that cooperation means consent, that the polite thing to do is say yes. That assumption is the weapon, and you just took it away from them. So here is what I am asking you to do before you close this tab. 3 things. First, memorize these 5 words right now. I do not consent to searches. Say them out loud once, say them again. They need to be automatic, because when those lights appear in your mirror, your brain goes into panic mode, and automatic is all you have. Second, the Know Your Rights card for traffic stops is linked in the description. Every phrase from this video in English and in Spanish. Print it. Keep it in your glove compartment, because the glove compartment is the first place an officer will ask you to open, and having that card there means you already had a plan. Third, send this video to one person in your life who drives. It does not matter what their status is, because the word yes costs everyone inside that car equally. My name is Alejandro. I am a criminal defense attorney. I am not your attorney unless you call me, but I am always in your corner. Keep your windows up a little longer than you think you need to, and remember, always plead the Fifth.